Okay, so we've got some cargo coming in. It is hard to get things in the little islands, but we've managed to organize this amazing Watermakers Air, which flies flights a couple times a day into Staniel Cay here, and they're going to be bringing stuff in. Hopefully it's just landing short.
So what do we got here? A lot of cargo for people that live here?
Yes, absolutely. Lots of stuff, cargo for people who live here. Some people buy, space on the airplane for freight.
Right.
We send it down for people who live down here and for the club.
People who stay for a while.
People who stay for a while, right? Exactly.
That's us.
That's you guys? You guys on a boat?
Yeah, we're hanging. That's our boat main batteries bank.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are gonna need those, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
These are pretty heavy.
They're pretty heavy.
They are pretty heavy.
They're 118 pounds each.
13.
Wow. For anybody. Yes. Put them on this plywood here. Today we have some
Here's one package, and then the batteries.
So who has stuff shipped in? Is it for the club?
All supplies for the club,
All right.
people, luggage, and every other thing that comes on Watermaker from the States.
Our cargo is the heaviest of the day at nearly 500 pounds. When you're traveling in remote locations, getting supplies and special parts is a big challenge. Watermakers Air helped organize the customs clearance as well as the shipping, and the great guys at Staniel Cay Yacht Club helped us lug these heavy puppies down the dock and lift them in the boat and settle them in place.
With this last major project done, we are now ready to cast off for the Caribbean.
This is often a difficult passage right upwind, but we've seen a possible weather window that will give us a few days of nice north winds. I'm testing route planning software, and it calculates the fastest route for us based on the performance of our boat and the forecast winds. The red boat is going my planned route, and the green one is following the automatic generated route. It might get in a few hours earlier, about 5 days at sea.
We start out with a perfect light breeze, but then it gets too light to sail, and we put the motor on for a few hours.
We carry about 100 gallons of fuel, 410 liters of diesel, and motoring like this, we use just over 2 liters per hour, or about a half a gallon, so our range under power is nearly 1,000 miles.
By the next morning, the wind has filled in again, and we are sailing along right on course for St. Martin, now just over 700 miles away.
We take turns on watch, 4 hours on and 4 off watch during the day, and 3 hours on, 3 hours off at night. On watch, we check the sails and course, as well as keeping an eye out for other boats. On a typical watch, we don't see any boats at all. In fact, less than one a day on most of our offshore passages. This is one of the fastest points of sail for most sailboats. We can make 8 knots or more without heeling over too much when the wind comes from the side, just ahead of the beam. Very comfortable and pretty quick. We make close to 200 miles in one 24-hour day. This is not the normal weather pattern for this passage by any means. The predominant wind is from the east, where we're heading, but when I saw the predicted north winds, we grabbed this opportunity to have some nice beam sailing.
We see lots of this orange seaweed on this passage. It's called Sargasso Weed and defines this area of the Atlantic Ocean, which is called the Sargasso Sea. We will be sailing through this for much of the 900 miles to St. Martin.
This is the only seaweed that grows and lives full-time at sea, free-floating like this. All other seaweed grows on the ocean floor and then floats free. The Sargasso Sea is the only sea in the world that is defined by currents and has no land boundaries. The routine on watch involves keeping a lookout for other boats or ships and also checking that the sails are set properly. If the wind has changed, I might need to bring in the main sheet, the rope that sets the angle of the main boom, so we catch the wind and get the most power from it to move us forward. Our power winches mean this is quite an easy job. Although I'm on watch, I can still pop down below to make a cup of tea and check the horizon again when I come back up. Many modern cruising boats have an automatic identification system, AIS, which means we can detect shipping up to 20 miles away and see them on our chart plotter. Especially at night or in reduced visibility, this is a great safety feature. Our AIS transmits, so ships see us as well, and they and us receive an alert if we're going to come close. For cooking at sea, our galley is along the starboard or right side of the boat, with everything the chef needs close at hand. The gas stove is gimbaled, meaning it swings so it stays level as we lean over. But even so, there are pot clamps to hold things in place with the motion. We carry provisions for more time than we planned, just in case. So although this passage might take less than 6 days, we plan enough food for more than 12. Inside Distant Shores 2, our main saloon is bright and airy and has plenty of handholds, so we can move around safely with the boat's motion at sea. There is more than enough room for the two of us. In fact, a 49-foot boat is a big one for two. But besides comfort in port, the main reason for a larger boat is that the motion is much more comfortable at sea as the length of the boat levels out the waves, and the weight of the boat steadies her as well. These same seas on our old 37-footer would have felt much rougher.
I always look forward to our time at sea because you're just away from everything. Everything gets simple. It can be a challenge in the galley sometimes though, so I try to prepare a lot of things ahead of time. And yet it's something to do at sea. I enjoy cooking, so it's a time for me to be creative. Even when the weather gets bad, it can be exciting. We're having a great sail, and of course being in the Caribbean is wonderful.
Feel the power of the wind as it picks up to 14 or 15 knots. The sails are set nicely and pulling us along at nearly 9 knots. I take a trip up to the bow to get to watch us cutting through the perfect blue Atlantic as we approach the Caribbean and our destination. 5 days out from the Bahamas, we are nearly at St. Martin. The bow has sliced through 800 miles of the Sargasso Sea in the Atlantic Ocean. The sails have been set on the same tack for 5 days in northerly and northeasterly winds from less than 5 or 10 to a maximum of just 20 knots. Moments like this, I am so grateful to see our planet this way.
What a passage. Incredible 5 days. We got a nice moon to light our way in, and we're coming in around 11 o'clock at night into Simpson Bay. We know the harbor really well, otherwise I wouldn't try coming in the dark. We got the radar on. Find a nice spot to anchor and celebrate the best passage you could ever have coming from the Bahamas up to the Caribbean. It's supposed to be on the nose, and we just had a great sail the whole time.
Thanks for watching this Distant Shores how-to segment. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. Are you interested in the cruising lifestyle? Are you planning to sail away on a cruising adventure? Or researching cruising areas and destinations? Distant Shores is a television series about the cruising life, with lots of tips for sailors planning to sail away.
This is Oswego, New York. We are entering the Erie Canal system, and this will take us all the way from Lake Ontario to the Hudson River, which gets us to New York City.
Plus destination information to help you make your cruising plans.
Yeah, I can stand on the bottom.
We've been filming Distant Shores for nearly 15 years, and know the fun and challenges of the cruising life. We've made Distant Shores with you in mind. We include plenty of cruising tips in this travel series, as well as lifestyle segments and hints for sailors heading to exotic destinations. Encouragement for you and your crew to get out cruising. Destinations include the Intracoastal Waterway, the Bahamas, Caribbean, the Mediterranean, Scandinavia, transatlantic passage making, the French canals, and more.